All right, we are live. I think we're live. There we go. So I got the Google Hangout going. It's another Google Hangout of one tonight. Live indeed, Rex Hargrove. First to comment. We'll let some folks file in. Rex, till then, it's you and me, buddy. And then we'll get rolling. I've actually got some stuff I want to cover today. I was like, I could make a video and then, process it and upload it. Or I could just do the live hangout and say what I wanted to say. So that's what I decided to do. So I might fall behind on the chat feed, but I do that anyway. Let's see. There we'll go. Hey, I'm not even mirror image tonight. I'm usually mirror image. That's strange. I like it. Cliff Higgins, good to see you. Walter, good to see you. All right, you guys are filing in. Rex, I appreciate that, man. My best of 2018 tobaccos. Yeah. There's so many good tobaccos out there. It's getting harder and harder for me to make a best list, a best of. Kirk from Florida, what's up, man? All right, let's see. Chris, I did get your request for the Hangout. We'll give that a shot here in a few minutes. Make sure you've got your Google Hangouts up and running. But first, I wanted to go through a few things. So pipe check. Well, where's that? Yeah, pipe check. I'm smoking my 644, my dirty 644. That's not a spot. That's like a light shining down on it. But this is my 7LE Series 3 644 pipe, 9mm filter. Warts and all. You see it's got fills, and it's not the prettiest briar around, but it's such a good smoking pipe. And I love that it's 9mm filtered. I posted a video about this accidentally, I think last week, because I still don't have these in stock, but I had it scheduled for like 2 weeks out, and I still don't have these in stock. But they're coming. They're coming. But I'll get to that. So in this, I am smoking some GLP's Telegraph Hill. I decided to stock the Telegraph Hill, the Stratford, and the Fillmore, none of which I had carried in the past, back when Bradley made his decision, that he was going to try those 3 blends as like to find a replacement for his Elizabethan mixture from Dunhill. I had never tried any of them, but they're all Virginia Periques, and I've never had a Virginia Perique that I didn't like. So I was like, well, I'll just order all 3. So now they're on the Pipe Nook site. And I like them all, but none of them are the same as Elizabethan mixture, which is fine with me. That wasn't one of my favorite blends anyway, so. Cliff, we're going to talk here for a bit, so you might get bashful face because I'm gonna give you some praise. Dun dun dun. Kirk, you're smoking some old dark fired. Man, I got out Whataburgered. I like the Fillmore, but it's, no secret that old dark fired's my favorite. Alvin the Chipmunk Anderson says, anyone's bracket still alive? Be honest. I almost said, what does that mean? But I figured it out. I'm not a sports guy. Benjamin Lovelace, good to see you, man. Just like I told Cliff, you're going to get bashful face too here in a minute. I'm going to give you some thanks where thanks is due. All right, let me light this up and we'll get started with the topics at hand. And then we might try a hangout at the end. But I kind of want to try to keep these down to like 30 minutes or so. What time have I already blown through? 6 minutes. Well, that's not bad. Oh, Cliff. Well, yeah, check the replay, man. Well, I'll get into it. Maybe Cliff will catch the beginning of it. But me and Cliff, Cliff's been a customer and he's been a valued subscriber for some time. We kind of got to be pen pals of a sort. And I mentioned to Cliff a while back, we were talking about Band of Brothers, the miniseries. And I asked him if he'd ever seen The Pacific. And I'd never seen it. I just kind of wanted his opinion. And last week he told me he just actually finished watching The Pacific, so he sent it to me on DVD. Told me to keep it. Cliff, I super appreciate that. I'll be watching this in the near future. Thanks so much. I haven't even opened this yet. Yeah. But that is an awesome 10. I really liked Band of Brothers. I've heard this is a lot more gory, which I'm not really down for, but maybe I can man up and get through it. He also sent me a shirt. He was like, I know you like cool skulls. So he sent me this shirt. Now this shirt is pretty much the same color as my Missouri Meerschaum shirt, which is funny. But yeah, Cimarron Firearms Company, in it to win it. And I do like the cool skull. I'm not super big into guns, but this is a replica. Is it a replica, or I think it's what you would call a replica gun company. They make guns that are replicas of guns from the 1800s, that type thing. Very cool. Cliff, super appreciate it, man. Okay, so Benjamin Lovelace, who goes by Adam. I will never forget his name now because he sent me a present that I will never forget. So he's bought some things from me and he wanted to give me a thank you, asked what my shipping address was, and I gave it to him. I wasn't expecting what he sent. So first he sent me, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but that is a tin of original Frog Morton from McClellan's. Have not cracked it open yet. Thanks so much for that. But also in the same shipment, and I never thought anyone would send me this or anything like this, but this is a Dunhill pot shape group 4. And to the best of, and you can see that sandblast there. I finally figured out how to turn off the autofocus on my webcam. Thanks to John. Thank you, Matches. But this, to the best of my ability, and it's kind of worn off. The markings are on the bottom, and they're kind of worn off over time. This was an estate pipe, had been smoked, but is in excellent condition. I would wager to say that it had been refurbished at some point. I've smoked it a couple of times already. Smokes like a charm. I could tell that it had been smoked with aromatics a decent bit. So I'm going to convert it though to an English pipe because it's an unfiltered pipe. You guys know I love my filtered pipes. English blends tend to bite me less, so that's what I'm going to do with this bad boy. But just look at that grain. Beautiful. So, Adam, thanks so much. Obviously not, expected at all. I really appreciate it, man. But to the best of my ability, I've been able to ascertain that this is probably a late 50s, maybe early 60s model. But the marking is just too faint on the bottom to tell with any certainty. But that is my second Dunhill. I bought myself a birth year Dunhill a few years back, 1975, for anyone who wants to do the math. And now I have the second Dunhill. Probably never have a third. I've always said if you have 3 Dunhills, that's a Dunhill collection. But thanks again, Adam. Much appreciated. Let me relight my pipe. I wanted to mention, I know a lot of you guys have been chomping at the bit for not only this Series 3 shape, but many Series 3 shapes that I've been sold out of quite some time. I have been told that they're here in the States and they're going to be shipped to me very, very soon. So stand by. I'll be sending out a newsletter blast, email blast as soon as I get those in stock and on the site. Let's see. Let me catch up on the discussion here. So much to read. I'm such a slow reader. Wow, that's crazy, Adam, about demining the island. Yeah, definitely. Send me some photos of that. That would be very cool. Quaker Piper mentioned my GameCube shirt. I collect GameCube games. I don't think I'll ever have a complete collection, which would, depending on what you consider a complete collection, would be anywhere from 550 to 661 games or something like that. I'll never have all of those, I imagine, but I've amassed a pretty decent collection of GameCube games. I got about 150 of them at this point. Quaker Piper says aromatics in a Dunhill. Why? I would smoke like velvet, Hey, if aromatics are what you like, they're what you like. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not, they're not personally my favorite, but occasionally I get the hankering. Because I do have a sweet tooth. All right, so I'm caught up. What else do I want to talk about? The Hangouts concept. I don't know that that's really going to catch on like I was hoping it would. You guys tell me, have you seen a lot of Google Hangouts going live on YouTube? I don't get to watch all that many YouTube videos. I've got the day job, and then I've got the Pipe Nook at the end of the day. So these days, my YouTube viewing is very limited. But it's hard to get people's schedules together and get people to agree to come on and get their Google Hangouts up and running and all that kind of stuff. It's tough. Hey, John, what's going on, man? Carl Stokes. Hey, Carl. I guess you changed your channel name. I didn't notice. Calvin Richardson, the Savinelli that I ordered has taken its place at the top of my collection. Excellent. Got the 320. Man, I love my Savinelli 320s. I've got a Series 3, I've got a Trevi, and I've got a Rossi Rubino 8320. And I imagine I'll have more in the future. Just love them. Bona Piper mentioned about me going on a regular live schedule. And that's something I kind of wanted to touch on. When I started this, I thought it'd be a lot easier to get Hangouts going with people. Since that is not the case, and because I'm so pressed for time these days, not only do I not think I'll be able to have Hangout guests as much as I would like to, I don't know that I'll be able to go live every single Wednesday. But I have chosen Wednesday as my time to typically go live. I really like the idea of Wednesday night lights. I would have gone with Friday night lights, but there's other people like matches that go live on Friday night, and I didn't want to clutter up the space there or segment the community, you know. Doesn't seem that many people go live on Wednesday, so I figured that'd be a good time to do it. It might be limiting my audience on Wednesday nights. I don't know. But I just don't know that I can commit at this point to every Wednesday night. Now, what I'm trying to do is schedule my work week so that, you know, I ship for the Pipe Nook 3 times a week. I'm trying to make Wednesday night one of those nights that I don't box. These days I've been having to ship 4 times a week, just because I've had an influx of orders, which thank you very much for that. I don't want to complain too much about more orders than usual, especially in March. March is typically a slump month for me, and it was pretty decent this year. What else do I want to talk about? If you guys want to be part of a Hangout in the future, text the following 3 things to the following number. I need your name, your email address, and your YouTube account or channel name. Name, email address, or YouTube channel name, and text that to 850-610-2032. That's 850-610-2032. And I put that in the description of this video. So do that to be considered for either tonight's Hangout or Hangouts in the future. Maybe we can arrange something. I think people get a little gun shy about, go on Hangout now. That's a bit much. So maybe we can schedule for a future date. So guys, I'm going to try to invite somebody to the Hangout. Let's see if it works. Mm-hmm. Send invite. All right, Chris, this invite is going out to you. Chris Adams. I sent you an invite, so we'll see if you get it. I think the last time I went live, I tried to send you an invite, or maybe it was the time before that, and I didn't see you pop on. Nick Piper, good to see you, man. So if anybody missed it earlier, the Savinelli Series 3 pipes are coming. They're coming within the next week or two.
I think I'm in here.
Chris.
How are you doing, sir?
Good, man.
Good.
All right, let's see. Do you have your YouTube muted down?
I do. Well, I don't have it running.
Oh, good. Okay. Let's see. I don't think you're going to the main screen. Let me see if I can fix that, because I got you in a very, very tiny section of the screen down here.
Oh, okay.
So while I'm screwing around with all that, why don't you tell everybody a little about yourself?
Well, I'm from Virginia. I do landscaping, and when I get off work, I smoke my pipe. That's about it.
Now, do you smoke every day? Pretty much.
Yeah, probably more than I should. But
well, I don't know. It's kind of like a vitamin.
Right.
No, maybe not. But I used to smoke, when I smoked cigars, I would smoke a cigar once a week, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. When I switched to pipes, I was just like, the wife takes to it a lot better than cigars, and so I just smoke every day.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't stink up a room like a cigar does.
Yeah.
Cigar smoke lingers for a long time too.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see. I think I've got you on present to everyone.
Oh wow, yeah. Full screen now.
Are you?
At least on mine.
Well, that's good. I haven't done enough of these to be an old pro, and then I skipped last week, so I'm out of practice.
Yeah, I don't know. I just downloaded this the other day when I saw you were doing it, so I've never used it before either. I saw that that Dunhill. That's beautiful.
Yeah, man. Did not expect that.
Yeah, that's a pleasant surprise.
Yeah. He asked me if there were any McClellan blends that I wish I had a 10 of. And I'm like, any McClellan blend? Because
seriously,
by the time I found out that they were going out of business, everybody was pretty much sold out of everything.
Mm-hmm.
I found a few 10s to order, but not many at all.
Yeah, I've actually never smoked any McClellan blends, but I've heard good things.
They're not bad. They're easy on the palate.
There you go.
I was able to. I have some that are more favorite than others, but they were definitely a good production company.
I see them on eBay pretty frequently. I've thought about trying to snag one up that way, but they are kind of pricey.
I've got another gift coming my way, if you can believe that. Now, I don't usually get, like, stuff sent to me. I think I'm part of the YTPC, but you know, I think most people are like, well, he owns a pipe store.
Right.
They don't think to, you know, throw gifts my way, which is fine. But um, these Captain Earl blends back here that I just started carrying, I got really excited about the story behind those. And I contacted the person who, her name's Louise. Her and her husband actually developed the blends. And he's passed away, but Louise is still here with us. And you know, the blends are produced by Cornell and Deal now, but they're still the original recipes. And there was a cool story behind it that I posted on my site.
Okay.
And I contacted her and asked her because these blends originally came from a company called Hermit Tobacco Works. Have you ever heard of that?
I have not. No.
Very small batch tobaccos. They're no longer in production, but her and her husband had this very small pipe tobacco company. And so I asked her, hey, do you have any tins left of Hermit Tobacco Works stuff? You know, let me know what's available. I'd gladly purchase, you know, just for myself, you know.
Hmm.
And she said, yeah, I'll send you some tins.
There you go.
You know, no charge. And I was like, that's awesome, because that's stuff that you rarely see come up at all.
Well, I didn't see the article on your site. What's the story behind it?
Well, it's not an article so much as, you know, I did I need to put a blog post together about it. But you know, it was a small husband and wife team. I think these blends were developed in the late 90s, maybe early 2000s. And without the cliff notes in front of me, they are avid, or were avid, pipe collectors and tobacco collectors, and they acquired a pipe that belonged to a captain of a whaling vessel from the 1800s, and so that's where they decided Captain Earl's would be a good name for the series of tobaccos that they came up with.
Right.
So it was just kind of like an inspiration point. But the pipe was like a, you know, what, 150-year-old meerschaum.
That's awesome.
Now, I don't remember his full name, but Captain James something Earl was the captain of a whaling vessel. And it's actually the only wooden whaling vessel still around today. So it's up in Mystic, Connecticut, I think it is, like at a museum. But it's docked, but you know, it's fully serviceable. It can sail out. They took it on a journey back in 2014 across the Atlantic to some ports of call in Europe and sailed it back.
Shoot. Yeah, there can't be very many wooden boats still afloat anymore. Not from that period.
That's
Anyway.
the only wooden whaling vessel still around that's in, you know, I guess seaworthy.
Right. That's
out of
awesome.
about 2,000 ships at one point.
If you found a 150-year-old meerschaum pipe, would you try to smoke it?
Yeah, man. there aren't that many pipes I wouldn't try to smoke.
That's true. Good point.
I mean, this Dunhill, the day I got it, I smoked this Dunhill.
Oh, you got to do that.
I was like, I could treat it like gold, or I could smoke it.
I'm sure they sent it to you to smoke. They wanted you to enjoy it.
Exactly.
It looks like one of this 1960s Shell Briars. It's got that dark and kind of it's not super craggy.
Mm-hmm.
I really like those. I like that decade.
And the lettering, I know in the 70s, I think it was the 70s, they went to like an elongated, like a taller lettering for Dunhill.
Uh-huh.
and this is more the block style letters.
Right.
It says 4S for, I guess, Group 4 shell.
Mm-hmm.
Made in England, but you just can't make out the number behind it.
That's a shame.
But yeah, I think it's a late 50s, early 60s.
It's really nice looking. Very pretty.
Oh, let's see if there's anything else I wanted to talk about. Oh, I got an email today from Nashville Cigar. Apparently, Uptowns in Nashville has rebranded, and I heard about this a few months back, but they just sent out like I guess an official thing. I'm a bit concerned about that. I don't want to stir up any crap, but you know, they were Uptown Smoke Shop, and now they're Nashville Cigar. I'm really hoping they don't phase out their pipe and tobaccos, pipe tobaccos.
Uh-huh.
Here's hoping, because there just aren't that many brick and mortars that carry anywhere near the lines of pipes that they did. We'll see. I'll be back in Nashville hopefully in September or October.
There you go. Try to go see it one last time just in case.
Well, hopefully they'll still host, we do the YTPC pipe meetup every year.
Oh, I didn't know about that. That's cool.
Yeah. So are you subscribed to Derek Tant?
No, I'm not.
Look up Derek Tant. He's kind of the keeper these days of the Nashville dates. Basically, whenever he gets time off work in the fall to go visit his brother in Nashville, he kind of announces, "Hey, let's do the hangout this weekend."
You said it's Eric Tan?
It's Derek Tant, Tant.
Okay.
I would say you'd like him, but he's an acquired taste.
We'll see. I'll give him a subscription here and I'll see.
Now, Derek's a good guy, and his brother is a country music singer in Nashville. He's done some touring, behind some big acts, and trying to eke out a living, slinging that guitar around.
Yeah, that's not an easy way to make a living either.
Can't say I'm not jealous.
Right.
Although I'm not really a country music fan, but there's some country music that typically the country music I listen to is like Willie Nelson, Hank Williams Sr., not Jr. the old guys.
Yeah, about the only current country artist that I listen to is Chris Stapleton. I like him a lot, but I don't listen to much other country music.
Now, that name rings a bell. Was he in a band before he was a solo artist?
He was in the Johnson Brothers was the name of the band. But he has written songs for all kinds of country artists. So that's kind of how he got started, or how he got his name out there. And then he kind of went out and did his own thing. He did that song was on the radio, Tennessee Whiskey. You might have heard that one. He's really good. He's got an awesome voice. He's a good guitar player too.
Well, I guess this will be my ad for Google Play Music, but I don't listen to the radio. I haven't listened to the radio in years and years and years. When I listen to music, I listen to Google Play Music. They've got the premium subscription, and I'm a bit iffy, like a lot of people, about the whole subscription streaming model.
Right.
I still buy albums here and there to support artists. artists they just don't get a fair shake when it comes to that streaming profit.
Mm-hmm.
But you get Google Play Music and a YouTube Premium for the same price. I think it's $9.99 a month.
Okay.
And I love YouTube Premium. You get access to content you don't normally get. And it's ad-free.
That's the way to do it. I think my dad is a musician. He actually that's how he makes his living. But I think he has stuff streaming on Google Play Music as well as Spotify. And I think he was telling me that Google Play is one of the more fair companies these days as far as it comes to paying out.
Yeah. There we go. I got you up on the big screen finally. They've been looking at my ugly mug most of the time.
That's what they subscribe for, man.
I wish I'd figured that out beforehand. Now you're up there and I'll never come back up. So smile for the camera.
Somebody said Chris Stapleton played with the Steel Drivers. So maybe that's the one you've heard of.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of the Steel Drivers. There was a local band around here called 238, and for some reason I was thinking he was a part of that. It was somebody Stapleton, if I recall.
Right.
All right, let me figure out this stupid camera thing again. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have started drinking before I started the Hangout.
What you drinking?
One of my favorite beers. Let's see. Well, let me put myself up on the screen manually. I really shot myself in the foot here. Present to everyone. Elysian Space Dust IPA. It's on the pricey side, and because of that, I kind of wish I'd never heard of it. Because now that's all I want. And then I ice it down, like I put it over ice. Because it's a pretty strong IPA. I think it's 8.5%. And I work with this guy who's like half Thai. And I went over to his house one night, and he poured his beer over ice. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "This is how they do it in Thailand. It's so hot over there, and they just want their beer to be more refreshing."
Right.
I guess, and you get to drink more of it.
That makes sense. Put soda on it.
I gave it a shot, and now I really like it.
There you go. I've only had a couple IPAs that I really got into. I usually like porters and brown ales. I can get into kind of sweeter stuff, but maybe I'll give that one a shot and see if I like it.
It's pretty strong now. You have been warned.
Yeah, I have to make sure I put it on ice.
All right, I've got you back up on the screen. How do I turn that off, man? I don't want the manual thing. I don't even know why people watch me do these Hangouts, because it's just me like futzing over settings, you know.
We got 32 people mind.
David Bartel says we're talking about beer now. Time to bring out the German masterpieces. Well, show me a German masterpiece and then tell me who they stole it from. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's a joke.
That was pretty good.
I love how the German beers say, they're brewed under the Quality Control Act of like 1559 or something like that.
Not a lot's changed. That's funny.
It's like how quality was their quality control 400 years ago?
That's well.
We didn't know about bacteria back then.
That's true. They're still using the miasmatic theory of disease.
But what do I know? Not much.
So you said you think you're getting some 7Ls back in stock pretty soon?
Yes. So the Series 3s are coming back in stock. Hopefully this coming weekend. If not then definitely by next weekend.
Okay, cool. I've been checking your site every couple days. I'm gonna get one of those 320s next time you have them back in.
Well, if you see it, jump on it because they go quick. And I mean, I didn't know just how successful the Series 3 9mm pipes were going to be, but they've become my best sellers on the Pipe Nook, which is funny because, supposedly 9mm filtered pipes, as a general rule, just don't do that well.
Right.
But they've done really well for me. They never outsell my 6. What's that?
Oh, I said I've never smoked one with a filter. I have a filtered pipe, but it's 6mm, and I have a pack of the 9mm balsa filters, so they're not going in there.
Well, if you get a 320, it's probably, from me, it'll probably be a 9mm filtered pipe. But they're the Series 3s that I have are either unfiltered or 9mm filtered, and they'll say in the description. But yeah, I have pretty much they've back ordered me. Savinelli has back ordered me 2 months in a row, and at this point I've pretty much sold out of almost every shape of the 9mm pipes. And I'm like, man, I didn't know things had gotten that low. I started looking through all my boxes. I'm like, these are all empty. How did this happen?
Well, that's good. This Series 3, that was a really good idea by Savinelli.
Yeah, and I see the Stanwell's now making some. Same kind of concept. And Molina has a similar series, but I think theirs are, the Molina series is not seconds, I don't believe.
It's just unfinished.
So their Molina pipes in general are cheaper than Savinelli pipes, but their unfinished pipes are, I think, on the same price scale as these.
Okay.
So I don't know how well they would do for me. It's like, well, I could get a Savinelli or I could get a Molina.
Right.
But I might try to get them. I'm seriously considering carrying Molina pipes in the future.
Yeah, I've never smoked one of those before either.
Well, this guy's dirty right here, but I've had this Molina pipe. Let me put myself back up top. Present. This guy, this is a sitter from Molina.
That's awesome.
Got this wire rustication. And it just looks like a tree trunk. So when I got it, this was my Perique pipe.
There you go.
And that tells you how long I've had this. I've probably had this about 5 years now, because at the time it was my one and only Perique pipe. Now I smoke Perique in all of my pipes. But that's one of my favorite pipes. and I can't even find that anymore. I guess they don't make that one. They make that shape, but not that finish.
Yeah, the finish looks really good. Like you said, it looks like a tree trunk. Pretty cool.
Oh, Yardism was wondering who my guest is. So, Chris, what's your last name again? I forget.
Adams.
Chris Adams.
Yes, sir.
Now, you have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, I don't have any videos up though. I'm nobody. I'm just a viewer coming to smoke a pipe with you.
Well, you're a part of the YTPC. Don't say I'm a nobody. The only reason I'm here making videos is because I just decided to do it. Before that, I was just commenting on people's videos myself. But then again, you know, if I hadn't done that, we wouldn't have the pipe nut today. So I'm glad I did.
Yeah, seriously.
One thing just kind of led to another.
Seems like that's the way it goes. I saw that you got a Zulu shape in the Series 3 too. I was thinking about picking one of those up when I get the 3.
Yep, that's the 7LE404.
That thing's pretty good.
I will put you back up as the presenter. And let me go see if I have one in stock.
Yeah, I wanted to try to get my hands on one of those ever since I saw an old picture of J.R.R. Tolkien smoking one. Thought it was a cool shape.
I'll be right back.
All right. Bean Piper, that would make a good song. Send your idea to Chris Stapleton.
Oh, all right. Here we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Just a little show and tell. But yeah, that's a nice shape.
Seriously. These things are cool. I like the idea of coloring it in yourself too, you know, with the as it ages.
Yeah.
Really...
Well, and I don't have it anymore to show you, but this pipe that I made the video about, that was the unfiltered version of this pipe. Somebody commented on that video that they'd buy it from me. So
Right.
I sold it to them.
Yeah, I saw that video. It was right much darker than that one. Although that looks like it's colored some since that video.
Yeah, and what I do is I'll just kind of rub it with my hands here and there. Especially if you see it like coloring a little unevenly, you can kind of just get the oils from your hands down in it.
Right.
Like in the creases. But yeah, I mean, matches will get a pipe like this and it'll be like super dark in a week.
Uh-huh.
But I just don't smoke one single pipe all that often, you know.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of the same deal with the my clay pipe. I don't know if you can see that, but that used to be white. They color in kind of in the same way, like darker though.
Yeah, and meerschaums do that too.
Mm-hmm. They get pretty though. The meerschaums, they start almost looking like briar.
So how long you been smoking a pipe, man?
Since I was 18. I'm 28 now, so about 10 years, on and off.
Yeah.
Say within the last couple of years, I started smoking regularly. Though I'm trying to quit smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, I got to be careful to not get on a cigarette soapbox, but um, I'm convinced that most of the problems with cigarette smoking, of course, we all know it's not the best thing for you to suck smoke down into your lungs constantly.
Right.
All of my grandparents smoked cigarettes, and they were like 2 pack a day smokers, right? And that's just like being in a forest fire all day long,
Right.
every single day. It will catch up to you, and they all died in their 60s,
Mm-hmm.
their early 60s.
Mm.
By contrast, my great grandfather smoked a pipe for 70 years and lived to be 99 years old.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah. It doesn't have like the same chemicals and stuff, like all the pesticides they spray on that mass-produced cigarette tobacco. It's just.
Well, I know they put like what do you call it? Anti whatever. They put something on it to keep mold from growing on the tobacco.
Right. I think they put something in it to keep the tobacco burning too.
Antimicrobials. Um, and yeah, the drugstore blends in particular, they'll put in that poly whatever to keep it moist so it doesn't dry out as much. But by and large, it's still much more, much less. Why can't I talk? Much less uh, altered
Mm-hmm.
than the mass-produced tobacco. And by the time you get tobacco and cigarettes that are mass-produced, it's pretty much like pepper grinds.
Uh-huh.
But my theory is that it's the paper. It's that white bleached, chemically treated paper that's the worst part of cigarette smoke.
Yeah, it could be. I've been thinking about trying my hand at growing my own tobacco.
Yeah?
And I actually just started looking into that today. I think I might try to. They sell seeds on Amazon, so I might try to get some of those. I know it grows good here, so it grows well here.
Let's see. Let me catch some comments here. TP's gone. I probably already missed him. Sorry, TP. David says, on contrast to that, my great grandmother lived to the age of 103 while still drinking like a Russian. You never know. Oh, Matches is going to try his hand at growing some burley.
There you go. I think that'd be the way to do it if you could get it to taste right. Why not?
I don't want to get you in trouble, but what are the legalities of growing tobacco for personal use versus selling it? Do you know?
I was actually just looking at that earlier, and as far as I can tell, in the U.S., you can grow and smoke your own if you want.
Interesting. I might try it at some point.
Yeah, as long as you don't sell it to anybody. Now, then I'm sure they get you for that, but as long as it's for personal consumption.
What I really wish is I could give samples away. Occasionally I'll have somebody say, hey, can you send me samples? If I'm purchasing something, and I'm like, well, I really can't with the FDA stuff that's going down.
Right.
So
Yeah.
As a small business owner, it's really scary to even consider the possibility of doing this full time, like as this is my livelihood, because at any time in the near future, I could just get shut down, you know?
Right.
That's a very real possibility. So, not that I'm doing anything wrong at the moment. I'm just saying, like, I could get a knock on the door by the FDA in 2023 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, regulations could change and regulate me out of business.
Right. Yeah, in my opinion, there's far too many laws like that on the books.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of government interference, I'm glad in the US we can still talk about this stuff openly, but I just did my taxes finally over the weekend. I got my taxes done. You know, and I've only had the pipe nook for 3 years, and I only paid myself out of the pipe nook for the past 2 years, until I paid off my personal loan to, you know, that I paid the pipe, you know, I loaned the pipe nook out of my savings to start it.
Mm-hmm.
Got that paid off in the first year and a half, which was amazing. But so now I've got this whole new set of things to learn about inventory management for tax purposes, and how to account for expenses and this, that, and the other stuff I've never had to deal with in the past. So I dread it. I hate it. It is the worst thing of the year for me by far. But I got it done. But I'm just here to say I would vote for a straight federal sales tax and do away with the entire tax code. Everybody pays the same amount, the same percentage on what they spend, not on what they save or choose to do with their money aside from spending it. You know, it just makes sense to me. Somebody's going to have to tell me why that doesn't make sense and why we still have the IRS. And I hope we don't have any IRS workers out there watching this. But good grief. I mean, it's so overly complicated.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any sense.
Intentionally so. Yeah, I've heard some really good arguments for that. And yeah, I'm kind of with you, although I don't know enough about it to really have an opinion.
Well, you know, you hear about these huge multi-million and multi-billion-dollar corporations that just don't pay their fair share of taxes. And, you know, if they paid a straight sales tax on what they spent on their business, I mean, I think that would revolutionize our economy and maybe start paying down this freaking staggering national debt.
Right.
You know? But what do I know?
Eddie Gray for president.
Well, I'm all smoked out. I don't know if I want to start another bowl or not. Let's see how long we've been going. We've been going 50 minutes. That's a pretty good hangout.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm about there myself.
Well, I hope I didn't talk over you too much, man.
Oh, no.
Sometimes I don't have anything to say, and sometimes I got way too much to say. But, oh, I did want to say one other thing. So, you know, I made a video a couple of weeks back about the truth about pipe filters. Mm-hmm. And one thing I mentioned was I wish I could smoke my artisan pipes more than I do, but I just prefer a filtered pipe. So I got some subscribers that told me about some artisan pipe makers that will sell filtered pipes. You know, they'll sell their pipes drilled to accept filters. So I'm looking into that. I'm going to order 2 or 3 of them. So I'll definitely let y'all know how that goes. And a couple of them are guys y'all know, like the Bayou Guru. I had no idea that he would drill a filtered pipe. Who was the other one? Olive wood piper. And then also I got the idea in my brain of, well, shoot, I've got some unfiltered pipes that I rarely smoke. I wonder if they could be retrofitted to accept filters. And so I contacted a few like pipe restoration people, and I'm going to send about 15 pipes to Walker Pipe Repair. That guy's name that's running that now is Mike Myers. And we'll see how that goes. He said he would inspect and let me know which ones he could drill out and which ones he couldn't, and send them back to me. So we'll see.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and I thought, well, I don't typically have that super expensive pipe. I wonder if it'd even be worth doing. But he gave me a rough estimate, around $15 a pipe to get that done, if it can be done.
Like a good deal to me.
Yep. Well, hey, Chris, I really appreciate you hanging out.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to close out, you guys. Glad y'all stopped in, and we'll try to be on next Wednesday around the same time. See y'all.